my name is Andrew Byrne, and today I'm going to show you how to do some Python basic stuff. And right now you are watching Drew's Custom Creations. So, most of the time I've been doing stuff like how to do this particular program, but I looked at the YouTube search results, and apparently you guys really want to learn how to do amazing stuff and just, think of it on the fly, instead of having to watch a tutorial on how to do it. And so this is episode 1 of my new series, How to Do the Basics of Python. And today we're going to learn about integers. And, not integers, variables, but they can store integers. So what the frick are variables? So a variable is anything in Python that stores a particular one sort of piece of information. So in order to format a variable, you can type in anything. So variable is equal to 2. So what this does is it stores 2 to the variable. And you can write it as different ways. You could do variable is equal to 2, and that would also work. You can also put other stuff in there too. You don't have to put in just numbers. You could do something to say. Yes, you can actually use underscores with them. Just no plus symbols or anything like that. I don't think you can use that. Yeah, you can't. And then you put in the equal sign. And then you can, by using quotes, you can type in a string. What's a string? So a string holds in information that's not numerical data. Okay, what does that mean in non-nerd language? Well, it can store something you say, not like a number. It doesn't store the word. It doesn't store number 4, although you could put that in there. But you could say something like, the dog likes to run, and it will be put in there. Now, there are particular things that you don't want to have stored into variables. So, for example, you can't say, let's see. I can't think of anything right now. Oh, I know the word that I was looking for. There are particular things that your variable can't be named. So, for example, if you have a whole bunch of special characters, and blah is equal to 0, if you try to run that, it gives you an error. Syntax error, invalid syntax. And that's because you included this thing. However, if you just deleted that, it could run, and it's perfectly fine. Okay, yes, I know, Python course. By the way, you can get a Python course on this website. You can just click on Python certification and it will tell you stuff. However, it's like a long Python course that gives you stuff that you need to learn in order to complete Python in college, and it's a little bit harder than what I'm going to be giving you guys. You also can't do specific things, like, for example, print cannot be it, or none, and you'll probably learn in a while, but these are all Python commands, so you can tell the computer to print out something. I'll tell you about print in the next time. And but you can also store other things into variables, like, for example, variable is equal to true, or variable is equal to false. Basically, what these things are called are booleans. And this might seem a little complicated to you, but for example, instead of it being all kind of, making the program do something if a certain variable is 1, or making the program do something if the variable is 0, that's a little complicated. So you can just use booleans. But don't pay attention to what I just said, because you aren't going to learn that for a long time either. We're just trying to keep it plain and simple. Okay? Because some of you guys might have just learned what Python is 2 hours ago, or 5 minutes ago, or something. Anyway, you can also store float. What is float? What are floats? Well, float is okay. That's a pro. Okay. A float number is anything with a decimal in it. So decimal number is equal to 3.1. And people often might get confused with integers and float numbers, because an integer is a number that does not have a decimal, and a float number is something with a decimal. Okay. Anyway, let's look at a few examples. So let's say that we have a program that looks like this. Variable is equal to 1, print variable. Don't pay attention to this print part, because we're not learning that yet. But what is the variable in this? Well, it's right here. It's the thing where we're storing 1 into the variable. Now let's do fractions is equal to 4, and then let's do telemetry data is equal to hello, and then print telemetry. Oh, hold on, I'm doing this incorrectly. Print telemetry data, which we haven't learned about, and dog is equal to 0.6. So what are the variables in this? Give you some time to think about it. Okay, we have 3 variables, right here, and right here. And this thing right here is not a variable. Anyway, now let's see. Okay, so which one of these variables is correct? Are they both correct? Are none of them correct? Or is only one correct? And if only one's correct, which one? If you said that this one is incorrect, then you're right. You can see it has a dash in it, and that's not supposed to be there. In fact, you can see that we get an error. There you go. Anyway, also, by the way, I didn't mention that you can't include spaces either, because Python will just think that these are 2 different variables and you're doing weird stuff with them. See? Invalid syntax. Anyway, another thing you can... Well, actually, I think I'll give you another example. Dogs is equal to 1. Dogs is equal to 2. So is this correct? So right here we can see that we stored 1 to dogs, and then we stored 2 to dogs. So wouldn't that give us an error? I can give you some time to think about it. Okay. Well, in fact, it doesn't give you any errors, interestingly, because anytime, whenever you want to change a variable, you can just you can just reassign another thing to the variable. However, if you were to try to make the computer display it, it won't display 1 and 2. It will just display the last variable you put into it. So for example, if I were to add in print dogs underneath of this, which is a function that displays stuff, then it will just say 2 instead of 1. But if I was to put it below this one, then it would say 1. Anyway, that's been variables. But you can do other stuff with variables too. You can do mathematical stuff. So for example, dogs is equal to 5. Cats is equal to 3, or not 10. We have lots of cats. And then pets is equal to dogs plus cats. What we get whenever we run this is that pets is equal to 15, because dogs plus cats, or 5 plus 10, is 15. Then also, you can do stuff like multiply it. And in order to multiply it, you use an asterisk. Then also, in order to divide, you can use a slash, the kind that's underneath the question mark, not the one that's underneath of the vertical one. Then there are other things, like for example, if you want to do 5 to the power of 10, you would do dogs to the power of cats using this thingamajig, whatever it's called. Then, of course, you can do minus signs, and yeah. Also, you can add together strings, which is a little weird. So, for example, cats is equal to meow, dogs is equal to bark, sounds is equal to cats plus dogs. So what we'll get is that sounds becomes equal to meow bark, because we add bark onto meow. Got it? Now what you can also do is you can just do multiplying different things. So for example, dogs is equal to bark, amount is equal to 5, and then times barked is equal to dogs times 5. So what we'll get, you know what, I think I'll times barked, just so that you can understand. What? Oh gosh. Sorry. Even me, I sometimes make mistakes. I forgot that you always have to put strings inside of apostrophes or quotes. And then you see bark, 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 bark. You get that. Now, what you can also do is just store the sum of two numbers together, the product of two numbers. So dogs is equal to 5 plus 5. What you would get is dogs becomes 10. And there you have it. So now we don't know much about the print function yet, but I guess I could cover in this video too some, although I'll cover the big part about it later on. So print, what you can do is you can print variables, or you could just print whatever you put into it. So you could do that. Anyway, for example, cat is equal to meow, then print cat. What that'll do is it'll print meow. And it can also print numbers, or it can print hello world. Right there. That, by the way, is a Hello World program in Python. You'll hear a lot of stuff about it. Basically, all the codes have a way you can make it say Hello World. And that's pretty much the thing you can do in any code. But yeah, that's what you can do with the print function. So now, anyway, I have a challenge for you guys. So I want you guys to be able to, I want you guys to have two different numbers. So the two numbers will be 5 and 6. Then after that, I want you to add those two together to get 11. Then I want you to store a variable called, well, you can call it whatever you want, but I want you to store the word hello to a variable. Then after that, I want you to make a variable that says hello 11 times, because 5 plus 6 is 11. And then after that, you can print it out. So what you should get is hello, hello, hello 11 times. But yeah, that's what I want you guys to do. So you can pause a minute, the video for a second, and you can think about how to do that, make it happen. And then you can unpause in order to show what I did. Okay, so what I did is I made number 1 is equal to 5, number 2 is equal to 6. Then okay, never mind. Apparently that's another thing. Answer is equal to number 1 plus number 2. So remember, you can add two variables together. Then after that, we need to store greeting is equal to hello. Then after that, we can do full answer is equal to answer times greeting. Then finally, we can do print full answer. And as you can see, it prints a lot of hellos. So if you got that, great. If you didn't, it's fine. I struggled at the start too. But yeah, you can just rewatch the video, do whatever you need. Even look up another tutorial if I didn't explain it well enough. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for the next tutorial video. Bye!